Welcome back. I'm Benjamin Nason from the Happy Valley Launchbox. And in our last video, we talked about the first part of assumption testing, making a list of assumptions. Today, we're going to start racking and stacking those assumptions to help identify the ones to attack first. Hopefully, you have a list of at least 10 assumptions. If not, we'd recommend you do that before continuing. So, how do you figure out which assumptions are most critical? Well, I'm glad you asked. First, you label each assumption as whether it is focused on desirability, feasibility, or viability for your idea. Desirability assumptions are those that focus on your customer's needs, their problems, motivations, or desires. Feasibility focuses on the ability to build or develop a solution that addresses a problem or need. These are often related to your team, skills, and the feasibility of actually building something. For example, viability is about whether you can actually build a viable and sustainable business delivering your solution to the people who want it. These are often about the financial or revenue sides of an idea. For example, with your assumptions labeled, your final step is to move each assumption into a prioritization matrix. The matrix helps you sort assumptions into groups based on two criteria: evidence you have and the impact if you're wrong. The horizontal axis is used to identify assumptions based on whether you have actual evidence to support them. It is important to know that an assumption lacks data to support it. You maybe think, believe, or feel that your customer wants or feels a particular way, but until you have collected data to validate or invalidate that, it is just an assumption. The vertical axis is used to rank assumptions based on the impact to your business or idea if you're wrong. Be sure to be very critical about assumptions that you believe you have evidence for. Remember, evidence is not a gut feeling or hunch. It's actual data from sources or customers themselves that validate the assumption. You should find that you have a number of assumptions on the top right quadrant. These are assumptions for which you have currently little or no evidence for, which are critical to the success of your idea. This is where you start. By identifying which are right and which are wrong, you can adapt and adjust before you make a costly mistake. We also recommend that you focus on those in the upper right quadrant that are labeled as desirable. It is important to first make sure that people actually want what you are offering. After all, if nobody wants or needs what you're looking to do, then it doesn't matter if it's feasible or viable. So, your next step is to label each of your assumptions D, F, or V for desirability, feasibility, or viability. Then, place them on the prioritization matrix. Once you've done that, set up a time and check with your business coach.